Hi, in this video we're going to simplify rational expressions. And I want to begin with this. We're going to begin with the most simple of examples. So remember that a rational expression is a fraction. It's a fraction of polynomials. In the last video we gave a definition of what a polynomial, is. And the most simple rational expression is a fraction. Like 1/2. So let's try something. What if I was to give you let's try this. Let's try a problem, and it reads something like this. Simplify oh, excuse me. Simplify 10/15. So in order to do that, you should always do is you begin the problem by factor the fraction. Now, I know that people have seen other ways to go about it, and they think about what divides this and what divides that, but I think you'll find that that might get you into trouble in the long picture, which is what we're after. So let's develop a technique that works in all cases, not just one. So if I do that, I take 10/15, and I recall that 10 is the same as 2 times 5, and that 15 is the same as 3 times 5. But when I do that, notice what happens. I have a 5 in the numerator and a 5 in the denominator, and so really that's just another factor of 1, and so we can cancel the 5's. We don't cross-cancel, we just call it canceling. And so the net result is that the fraction of 10/15 is more simply written as 2/3. Now, let's apply this. We're going to work through 2 more examples. So let's try this on a little bit more challenging problem. And it looks like this. Simplify. Let's try this. 8x cubed. Yeah, there we go. 8x cubed divided by 24x squared y. Now, I'm going to go through the same process. And remember that if I start trying to factor 8, I could say 8 is the same as 2 times 4, but 4 is the same as 2 times 2. So I can break that up into 2 times 2 times 2. And for 24, if we repeat this process, let's see, what do we get for 24? That's the same as 2 times 12. 12 is the same as 2 times 12 is 2 times 6. Oh, but wait a minute. 6 is 2 times 3. So let's use this to simplify our rational expression. So 8x cubed over 24x squared y is the same as, I'm going to write the factored form of 8, so that's 2 times 2 times 2, and x factors into x cubed is x times an x times an x. 24 we just said is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, and x squared is x times y. Okay, now notice that we've got, here's a 2 and here's a 2, so we can cancel those. And, oh, look at this, here's another 2, so I'll use a different color so we can keep track of all of our 2's. Here's another 2 that cancels with another 2. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, we have a pink cancellation. This 2 can cancel with that 2. Okay, let's take a look at what else do we have here. let's use, oh, and notice this. Notice that I have one x there and an x there. Those can cancel each other. I've got, here's another x and yet another x to match it. So now that everything's been canceled, we can write, let's see, what's left in the numerator? We have left an x, and in the denominator I have left a 3 and a y, so 3y. And that would be how you simplify 8x cubed over 24x squared y. Okay. One more. Now, remember, this one will be more interesting because normally you think of rational expressions having polynomials. So let's try one that has some more obvious polynomials. So let's simplify. Let's try, oh, here's a big one. It's 5x cubed. 5x cubed minus 20x over, I have, let's try 2x, oops, let's try 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 12x. That's the problem that we're going to simplify. To begin, well, let's first, I'm going to do this. First, now I can't cancel anything at this point because everything is written in addition and subtraction. See, I've got, here's my addition piece, and then I've got subtraction. So I can't cancel at anything at this point. So what we have to do is the same thing that we did above, and that is first factor the numerator and denominator. Okay, let's try this. So I'm going to break this up into two parts, and then we'll put it all back together. Numerator. Let's see, I start out with 5x cubed minus, oops, not 1, minus 20x. Now, right off the bat, notice that this problem here, it does have a GCF, a greatest common factor. It looks like, I'm going to try a 5x. So if I take that out, then I have 5x times, it's an x squared minus 4. But look at this. X squared minus 4, in our previous video, I think in F4, we saw that this is what's called a difference of squares. I know that's not correct formatting. A difference of squares because 4 is the same as 2 squared. So with that, we can write this as 5x times x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, now we have our numerator factored. So let's factor our denominator. Our denominator is 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 12x. And if I look at it right off the bat, I think I have a greatest common factor is 2x. Okay, so let's factor out a 2x. So now I have 2x times, that's going to be x squared minus 5x plus 6. Oh, and x squared minus 5x plus 6, well, that's a quadratic, and we've been factoring quadratics. Remember, the first thing that we would do is we would play the game. So I would go 1 times the 6, so I get a 6 in the top position and a negative 5 in the bottom position. So, if let's see, I think, how about negative 3 and negative 2? There. So now we use the answers from the game, to write this as 2x times x squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. And then now we can factor by grouping. So here I have a common factor, x, and in the second one I have a common factor of -2. So let me move that down a bit. Let's write this then. We have 2x, parenthesis, then I'm going to have x times x minus 3 minus 2. Oh, look at that. We get another. There's the greatest common factor. Now is x minus 3. A new greatest, or a second one. So I take out that. I take out the greatest common factor of x minus 3. And what's left in the parentheses then is x minus 2. Now the whole problem can continue. So assemble the fraction, or rational expression. Assemble rational expression. So I'm going to start out. Remember, the problem began as 5x cubed minus 20x. In the numerator, and our denominator was 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 12x. So after all that work, we found that the numerator factored into 5x times x plus 2, x minus 2, and that the denominator factored into 2x, x minus 3, x minus 2. Now, let's see, do I have any factors now? So notice, before I go on, notice that here, these are terms. All the terms are always separated by pluses, plus or minus. But on this side of the problem, these are factors. Factors have multiplication, or are separated by multiplication. There we go. So factors multiply terms plus or minus. Now, if we do this, let's take orange. Notice that here's an x in the numerator, and there's an x in the denominator, so I can cancel those. And then let's take a look. Are there any others that match? Oh, there it is. Here's an x. This entire binomial of x minus 2 is a factor, and there's an x minus 2 in the denominator. So I can cancel those. Now, here's how you know that the problem was actually done correctly. Let's try a number. So I'm going to pick a number. How about, let's just try 1. So try, oops, let me go back to black pen. So try x equals 1. Now, I'm going to do this. Oh, I forgot to write the answer. I got so excited. The answer is what's left. So I have 5x, x plus 2, over 2. Oh, no, that's a mistake. Let me fix that. 5 times, because I canceled the x, it's 5 times x plus 2, and x2 times x minus 3. And there we have it. Now, what we're going to do is try x equals 1 in the original rational expression, and then in the end result. And if we did this correctly, we should get the same answer both ways. So let's try this. So in the first one, I would go 5 times 1 cubed minus 20 times 1 over 2 times 1 cubed minus 10 times 1 squared plus 12 times 1. So let's see. Now 1's a nice number to work with because it's just 1. So 1 cubed is 1. 1 squared is 1. So 5 times 1, that's going to be a 5. 20 times 1 is going to be that's going to be a minus 20. I'm going to have a 2 minus 10 plus 20. So I have negative 15 in the numerator, and in my denominator, let's see, if I take 2 and I subtract 10, that's going to be negative 8, negative 8, negative 8. Oh, that's not a 20, that's a 12. Sorry. Plus 12. So negative 8 plus 12 is 4. 4. And so the negative sign, it can be in the numerator, it could be in the denominator, or it could be out front. So normally the easiest place is to work with it in the front or on the top. So you could also think of it as negative 15/4. All right. Let's try the other one. Now, our other answer was 5 times 1 plus 2 over 2 times 1 minus 3. So that's going to be 5 times 3. Here I'm going to have 2 times negative 2, so that I'm going to have 15. Oh, negative 4. And remember, the negative can be either in the denominator, in the numerator, or just out in front. And sure enough, we did our work correctly. And that is how you simplify a rational expression.